Have you ever considered that your routine daily shower, something seemingly ordinary, could be quietly posing a significant threat to your well-being, particularly after reaching the age of 65? Just yesterday, a senior gentleman tragically lost his life in his own shower due to common errors, oversights that could have been straightforwardly avoided. It's a sobering thought that these very same potentially fatal mistakes might be present in your bathroom at this exact moment, placing you or the people you care about in considerable jeopardy. Over the next few moments, I plan to uncover 6 critical shower missteps that older adults frequently make and provide you with precise guidance on how to safeguard yourself immediately. The insights you gain today possess the genuine potential to preserve your life and independence for tomorrow. We believe this information is crucial, and if you agree, please consider hitting that like button to help others find it. Sharing practical wisdom is what our channel, Old Age Wisdom, is all about. Allow me to share the story of Robert. At 78 years young, he cherished his autonomy, residing independently in his comfortable 2-bedroom house. He was still capably driving himself for groceries, diligently tending to his beloved garden, and looking forward to his weekly dinners shared with his adult children. Robert was conscientious regarding his health management. He adhered strictly to his medication schedule and was diligent about attending all his medical checkups. However, there existed one particular area where Robert, much like countless other seniors, remained perilously uninformed about the inherent dangers. Last Tuesday morning, Robert stepped into his shower stall, an action he had performed thousands of times without incident throughout his life. The water happened to be especially hot that particular day, precisely the temperature he preferred. His standard bath mat felt slightly damp from the previous day's use, something easily overlooked. Tragically, no one anticipated discovering him 3 hours later, lying unconscious on the cold bathroom floor. By the time the emergency medical technicians arrived on the scene, it was unfortunately too late to intervene successfully. Robert had sustained severe third-degree burns, subsequently slipped, and struck his head during the fall. He passed away alone, experiencing pain from what healthcare professionals categorize as entirely avoidable bathroom hazards. His family is understandably heartbroken and devastated by the sudden loss. "If only we had been aware of these specific risks," his daughter shared with me, tears tracing paths down her face. "Dad was so vibrant and healthy otherwise. He realistically could have enjoyed another decade of life." Are you perhaps making the identical errors that ultimately cost Robert his future? Let's delve into these potential hazards right now to ensure your safety. Mistake number 1 involves disregarding the significant risk associated with water temperature. Scalding hot water possesses the alarming capability to inflict third-degree burns in a mere 5 seconds, especially for seniors whose skin has naturally thinned over time. Were you aware that an individual's skin typically becomes about 30% thinner after the age of 65? This change means burns can occur much more rapidly and result in far more severe damage than one might anticipate. The majority of people remain completely unaware that they could be just one shower away from sustaining a potentially life-altering injury. Geriatric specialists associated with the renowned Mayo Clinic issue stark warnings that the skin of older adults burns approximately 30% faster compared to that of younger individuals. This underscores the critical need for vigilance regarding water temperature settings in senior households. Dr. Elizabeth Harrington, the esteemed director of geriatric medicine, elaborates on this point. As we advance in age, our skin inevitably loses some of its crucial protective outer layer. This reduction in natural defense makes burns not only significantly more painful, but also potentially lethal due to the increased risk of complications arising from burns covering large surface areas. Consider Margaret's story as a cautionary example. At 72, she decided to adjust her home's water heater setting in an effort to conserve energy and lower her utility bills. Unbeknownst to her, this new setting permitted the water temperature to surge upwards to a dangerous 140 degrees Fahrenheit. One morning, as she stepped into the shower stream, she instantly cried out in agony when the scalding water made contact with her back. By the time she could fumble to turn off the faucet, she had already incurred second- and third-degree burns affecting 15% of her body surface. Margaret consequently endured a difficult 3-week hospitalization and required skin grafting procedures. The pain was simply unbearable, she vividly recalls. And all because I was ignorant of how truly hazardous my shower's water temperature could become. If you're finding this information valuable for protecting yourself or loved ones, we'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe to Old Age Wisdom for more insights like this. Here is precisely what you must undertake today to mitigate this risk effectively. First, make it an immediate priority to check your water heater's temperature setting. Ensure it is adjusted to be no higher than 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is approximately 49 degrees Celsius. Please do not postpone this crucial step until tomorrow. Perform this check right after you finish watching this video. Second, consider installing anti-scald valves directly onto your shower fixtures. These relatively inexpensive devices, typically costing around $30, can often be installed within about an hour, even by individuals possessing minimal plumbing experience. Third, invest in a simple bath thermometer, usually available for under $10, and make it a habit to test the water temperature before entering the shower each and every time. These 3 straightforward steps, when implemented together, establish a virtually foolproof system designed to prevent potentially life-threatening burn injuries. Wouldn't you agree it's far preferable to spend approximately $40 now rather than facing potential hospital bills exceeding $40,000 later? Is your skin potentially already vulnerable without your awareness? Don't wait for the agony of burns to discover the truth. Mistake number 2 is relying on regular, decorative bath mats instead of utilizing purpose-built safety mats. Is that ordinary bath mat currently sitting on your bathroom floor, silently creating the conditions for a devastating fall? That common mat, perhaps one you've used for many years, might actually represent one of the most perilous items within your home environment. Have you ever observed how it can sometimes shift, even just slightly, when you step onto it? That seemingly insignificant movement possesses the potential to be sufficient to irrevocably compromise your independence. According to statistical data compiled by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, a staggering 80% of falls occurring in bathrooms happen during the process of transitioning into or out of the shower or bathtub. Dr. Michael Breener, an orthopedic surgeon specializing in geriatric injuries, shares this alarming observation. Standard decorative bath mats are implicated in more senior hospitalizations than any other single household item. They have tendencies to slide, bunch up, and consequently create uneven surfaces, a perfect combination of factors leading to catastrophic falls. Let's consider the experience of John, a dynamic 83-year-old retired engineer. John had utilized the same plush, attractive bath mat for numerous years. It matched the bathroom decor perfectly, his wife explained. One particular morning, as John was stepping out of his shower, the mat unexpectedly slipped just a fraction of an inch on the tile floor beneath it. That minor, almost imperceptible movement was enough to disrupt his balance completely. John fell backward awkwardly, sustaining a hip fracture in 3 different places. What ensued was a distressing cascade of medical complications. Emergency surgery, followed by pneumonia contracted due to prolonged immobility in a hospital bed, and ultimately, the difficult decision for him to transition into an assisted living facility. If only we had recognized the importance of replacing that beautiful mat with something specifically designed for safety, his wife laments with deep regret. John would likely still be here at home with me today. Here is your immediate action plan to address this common hazard. First, make the decision today to discard all standard, decorative bath mats currently in use in your home, regardless of their cost or aesthetic appeal. Their potential risk far outweighs any perceived benefit. Second, purchase specialized safety mats that incorporate these specific, crucial features. Strong suction cups on the underside to firmly grip the floor, antimicrobial properties designed to inhibit the growth of mold and mildew, and a textured, non-slip surface to provide secure footing. Ensure the mat dimensions are at least 16 by 28 inches to offer an adequate and safe standing area. Third, always test the installation after placing the mat by attempting to nudge it with your foot. It should remain firmly in place without any movement whatsoever. Remember to replace these safety mats approximately every 6 months, as the effectiveness of the suction cups can diminish over time. The cost for a high-quality safety mat is typically around $25 to $30, a truly minuscule investment when compared to the substantial expense of even a single day spent in a hospital recovering from a fall. How much value do you place on maintaining your independence? Can you genuinely afford not to make this simple, yet critical, change today? Mistake number 3 involves showering alone without having any emergency alert systems readily accessible. Regularly showering while completely alone can potentially reduce your life expectancy by up to 10 years simply by dramatically elevating your risk of experiencing an undetected fall. This assertion might initially sound startling, but the supporting data is unfortunately quite clear. Are you inadvertently placing yourself in this precarious situation every single day without even realizing the potential consequences? A long-term study conducted by researchers at Johns Hopkins University revealed a sobering statistic. Seniors who fall in bathrooms and are unable to summon immediate assistance have a 50% higher mortality rate compared to those who receive help within just 15 minutes of the incident. Dr. Sarah Jenkins, the lead researcher on that study, explains the grim reality. The combination of inherently wet surfaces, increased physical vulnerability often associated with aging, and profound isolation creates what we term a perfect storm for fatal outcomes. Many older adults who fall in bathrooms actually survive the initial impact, but tragically succumb later to complications arising from lying helpless on a cold, hard floor for prolonged periods. We're halfway through these crucial tips. If old age wisdom is helping you identify risks you hadn't considered, please show your support by clicking the like button or subscribing. Barbara's personal experience serves to illustrate this particular danger all too vividly. At the age of 70, Barbara was fiercely independent and enjoyed relatively good health for her age. One evening, she unexpectedly slipped while in her shower and found herself unable to get back up. Unfortunately, her telephone was located in the bedroom, and her medical alert button was resting on her nightstand, both completely out of reach. No friends or family members were scheduled to visit her until the following afternoon. Consequently, Barbara lay stranded and vulnerable on the cold bathroom floor for over 8 agonizing hours before her daughter, growing concerned after numerous unanswered phone calls, decided to come check on her in person. By that time, Barbara had already developed rhabdomyolysis, a dangerous medical condition characterized by the breakdown of damaged muscle tissue, which releases harmful proteins into the bloodstream, potentially causing severe kidney damage. Although she ultimately survived the ordeal, Barbara now requires ongoing dialysis treatments 3 times per week and resides in an assisted care facility. It all happened because I didn't want to seem old by using a shower alarm, Barbara confided to me during our conversation. Here is your essential survival plan to counteract this risk. First, take action today, not tomorrow, but today, to install a waterproof emergency call button directly inside your shower area, where it can be easily reached. These vital systems typically cost between $30 and $100, and many models do not necessitate professional installation. Second, establish a reliable check-in system with family members, close friends, or trusted neighbors. This could involve a simple routine where you send a text message or make a quick phone call both before you get into the shower and immediately after you get out. If they don't hear from you within a pre-agreed time frame, they will know to promptly check on your well-being. Third, whenever feasible, consider timing your showers for when someone else is present in the home. Fourth, make it a practice to keep a fully charged cell phone within a dry, easily accessible spot within the bathroom itself. Implementing these 4 layers of protective measures could genuinely represent the difference between a minor, recoverable incident and a devastating, life-ending tragedy. Are you truly willing to gamble everything for the sake of perceived privacy or absolute independence? The few minutes required to implement these sensible changes could potentially add an entire decade to your life. Mistake number 4 centers on the use of conventional bar soaps. Could your seemingly harmless bar of soap actually be functioning as a hidden hazard in disguise? That innocent-looking bar resting comfortably in your shower caddy might be inadvertently setting you up for a catastrophic fall. Have you ever become aware of the slick, almost invisible film it tends to leave behind, both on your skin and, more critically, on the shower floor surface? Dermatologists affiliated with the American Academy of Dermatology issue warnings that traditional soap bars often create a slippery residue that is directly responsible for approximately 22% of all falls occurring within showers. Dr. Catherine Williams, a prominent dermatologist specializing in senior skincare, clarifies, bar soaps frequently contain tallow or vegetable oils that leave an unseen but dangerously slick film on shower surfaces. This film becomes particularly hazardous when combined with the naturally diminished balance and slower reflexes commonly experienced by adults over the age of 65. Richard's story effectively highlights this often overlooked danger. At 76, Richard considered himself a cautious individual. He had proactively installed grab bars in his shower and consistently used a shower chair, believing he had taken all the necessary precautions to ensure his safety. Nevertheless, one morning, he slipped and fell while in his shower, despite having these safety measures already in place. The surprising culprit? The invisible residue left behind by his regular bar soap had created an exceptionally slick surface that even his careful foot placement and the presence of grab bars couldn't overcome. Richard tragically suffered a traumatic brain injury as a result of the fall and had to spend 6 weeks undergoing intensive rehabilitation. I genuinely had no idea that my simple bar of soap was putting me at such significant risk, Richard shared during his recovery period. Absolutely no one had ever warned me about this specific danger. Here is your immediate action plan to eliminate this slippery threat. First, take the decisive step today to remove all bar soaps from your bathroom environment and dispose of them properly. Second, invest in and install wall-mounted liquid soap dispensers. These convenient devices eliminate the need to handle potentially slippery bottles or containers while showering. Look specifically for models designed with seniors in mind, often featuring easy push mechanisms that do not require a tight grip strength to operate. Third, make a conscious switch to using only liquid body cleansers that are clearly labeled as non-residue or are specifically formulated for the needs of mature skin. Fourth, apply these liquid cleansers using a long-handled bath sponge or brush. This practice significantly reduces the need for excessive bending and reaching, further decreasing your overall risk of falling while showering. The implementation cost for these changes is minimal, generally ranging from about $15 to $25 for a quality dispenser and appropriate soap. Yet the protection they afford is truly invaluable. How many additional showers will you take using potentially dangerous bar soap before making this simple, yet profoundly impactful change? Each day you delay represents another day you are exposed to unnecessary risk. Mistake number 5 is ignoring the critical importance of proper shower and bathroom lighting. Dim or inadequate lighting in your bathroom significantly increases your risk of experiencing fatal accidents by as much as 75%. Can you currently see clearly into every corner of your shower stall and the surrounding bathroom area right now? If the answer is no, or even uncertain, you could be in immediate danger without realizing it. Most bathrooms in seniors' homes possess lighting that is woefully insufficient, inadvertently creating shadows that can effectively conceal potentially deadly hazards like small puddles, raised thresholds, or misplaced objects. Vision specialists working with the National Institute on Aging have reported that older adults typically require approximately 3 times more light than younger individuals due simply to perceive hazards clearly and navigate safely. Dr. Jonathan Levine, an ophthalmologist and dedicated vision researcher, notes, by the age of 70, the average person has experienced a loss of roughly 60% of their low-light visual acuity. What might appear as adequately lit surroundings to a younger person can be functionally dim and hazardous for seniors, creating perilous conditions for navigating within inherently wet areas like bathrooms. Helen's experience starkly demonstrates how insufficient lighting can lead to devastating consequences. At 68, Helen had what she considered to be perfectly normal bathroom lighting, a single overhead fixture providing general illumination for the entire space. One evening, due to the subtle shadows cast by this inadequate lighting, she failed to notice the slight step up at the threshold of her shower enclosure. Helen tripped unexpectedly, fell forward awkwardly, and ended up fracturing both of her wrists as she instinctively tried to break her fall. Because of the severity of the dual fractures, she was unable to care for herself independently and consequently spent 3 long months residing in a rehabilitation facility during her recovery. I never truly comprehended how poor my bathroom lighting actually was until after my accident occurred, Helen reflected later. Now I understand that what seemed bright enough to me at the time actually left dangerous areas obscured in shadow. Here is your essential safety plan for immediate implementation regarding lighting. First, install modern LED light fixtures that are specifically rated and designed for use in wet locations, positioning them directly above your shower area. Aim for a brightness equivalent to at least a 75-watt incandescent bulb. Second, consider adding illuminated light switches that emit a soft glow in the dark. This simple addition makes it significantly easier to locate the light switch when entering a dark bathroom, especially during nighttime hours. Third, install motion sensor night lights strategically within the bathroom. These lights automatically activate upon detecting movement, providing immediate, hands-free illumination whenever you enter the space. Fourth, think about placing low-profile LED strip lighting along the edges of any steps, thresholds, or changes in floor level within the bathroom area to make them clearly visible. The total estimated cost for making these vital lighting improvements typically ranges from $60 to $150, depending on the specific fixtures and options you choose. A remarkably small price to pay when compared to the average $30,000 cost associated with treating injuries sustained from a serious fall. Are shadows in your bathroom currently hiding potentially deadly hazards? Don't wait until after a fall happens to find out. Upgrade your bathroom lighting today for enhanced safety and peace of mind. Mistake number 6 involves the common practice of standing throughout the entire duration of your shower. Is the simple act of standing in your shower potentially putting you at an elevated risk for experiencing a fatal cardiac event or a serious fall? This very common habit, one that most people likely never question, could be silently placing undue strain on your heart and setting the stage for a dangerous tumble. Have you ever experienced a sensation of slight lightheadedness or dizziness after standing for a period in a hot shower? That feeling could be your body's critical warning signal, possibly its final alert before a potential disaster strikes. Cardiologists report that prolonged standing, particularly in hot water, can cause potentially dangerous drops in blood pressure for many seniors, leading to conditions like syncope, fainting, and subsequent falls. Dr. Harold Matthews, a cardiologist and researcher affiliated with the American Heart Association, explains the underlying mechanism. Hot water induces vasodilation, which is the widening of blood vessels. This widening effect can cause blood to pool in the lower extremities, thereby reducing the volume of blood returning efficiently to the heart and brain. When combined with the natural dip in blood pressure that many seniors experience first thing in the morning, this creates a precarious situation highly conducive to fainting episodes. Thomas's experience perfectly illustrates this hidden cardiovascular danger. At 81, Thomas was considered to be in relatively good cardiovascular health, with his hypertension well controlled through medication. One morning, after standing in his comfortably hot shower for approximately 8 minutes, he suddenly felt overwhelmingly dizzy. Before he had any chance to react or steady himself, Thomas lost consciousness entirely, falling heavily against the hard porcelain fixtures of his shower. His wife discovered him unconscious, suffering from a severe head laceration and a broken collarbone. Thomas's cardiologist later clarified that the confluence of factors, his blood pressure medication, the morning timing, when blood pressure is often naturally lower, and the prolonged standing in hot water, had collectively precipitated a sudden, sharp drop in his blood pressure, leading directly to the syncope or fainting spell. I had absolutely no idea that something as seemingly routine as standing in the shower could potentially be so dangerous, Thomas shared candidly during his recovery process. Here is your immediate safety protocol to address this risk effectively. First, make the decision today, not putting it off until tomorrow, but taking action today to purchase a proper shower chair or bench. When selecting one, look specifically for models that incorporate these essential features. Adjustable height settings to ensure proper fit and comfort, sturdy rubber tips on all legs to prevent slipping, drainage holes integrated into the seat to allow water to pass through, and ideally, supportive arms to assist during transfers into and out of the seat. Second, implement the sit-down shower rule in your household. Make it a policy to never shower while standing for more than approximately 3 minutes at a time. Third, maintain your shower water temperature at a comfortably warm level, rather than excessively hot, to help prevent extreme vasodilation. Fourth, Ensure you have a securely installed grab bar specifically positioned to provide reliable support while transitioning onto and off of your shower seat. These combined measures typically cost between $75 and $150, but could definitively save you from a fall that might otherwise alter your life permanently or even prove fatal. How many more times will you risk standing throughout your entire shower before implementing this simple, yet profoundly important, change? Your heart and brain simply cannot afford to take that unnecessary risk. These 6 potentially deadly mistakes tragically claim the lives of thousands of seniors each and every year. Yet the stark reality is that most people never even hear about these specific dangers until it's tragically too late for them or someone they know. The straightforward, actionable changes I've outlined for you today: carefully controlling water temperature, utilizing proper non-slip safety mats, implementing reliable emergency alert systems, switching from bar soap to liquid cleansers, significantly improving bathroom lighting, and making it a habit to sit while showering, collectively create multiple, reinforcing layers of protection. These layers can genuinely add precious years of safe, independent living to your life. Please don't allow yourself to become just another preventable statistic. You've worked far too hard and journeyed too far through life to have your cherished independence abruptly stolen by entirely avoidable bathroom hazards. Make a firm commitment to implement these vital changes starting today. Embrace the profound peace of mind that naturally comes from knowing you've proactively eliminated these silent, lurking threats from your home environment. You now possess the critical knowledge required to prevent the same kind of tragedy that unfortunately took Robert's life and irrevocably altered the lives of Margaret, John, Barbara, Richard, Helen, and Thomas. Remember, these simple adjustments don't just enhance your safety. They actively contribute to preserving potentially many additional years of independent, fulfilling living. You absolutely deserve to age safely and comfortably within the familiar surroundings of your own home, continuing to enjoy life fully on your own terms, free from unnecessary fear. Take decisive action on implementing at least one of these life-saving changes immediately after you finish watching this video. Your future self will undoubtedly be grateful for the proactive steps you take today. If this information could potentially save your life or the life of someone you care about, please take a moment right now to hit that like button. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these common mistakes surprised you the most, and which specific changes are you planning to implement starting today? Be sure to subscribe to Old Age Wisdom and click the notification bell so you won't miss out on more essential, life-saving advice that many seniors unfortunately never learn about until it's too late. Finally, please consider sharing this video widely with every senior you know in your life. It might just be the most important and impactful gift you ever give them. Thank you for watching and prioritizing your safety.